so it's May 17th, and today's the day that you can go out and buy Transformers Age of Extinction figures from local toy stores. So went out, grabbed a handful of them, and gonna show you them real quick, open them up, and kind of let you guys see how they look. And hopefully we'll be comparing these either later this month or early next month with the Takara versions. So we'll just kind of get started here with some of the smaller ones first. And we're going to look at Bumblebee. We're using X-Acto because I'm weird like that and I just don't want to tear up the packaging all the way. Which X-Acto knives are really good for getting into these toy packages. And I tend to keep some of this stuff now, even though I like to open it. I still like to keep the packaging somewhat intact, and doesn't make it quite as valuable as something that was completely unopened. But if you got the packaging and you want to resell it in the future, hey, you still got packaging. Just off the bat, these seem a little tad bit smaller than the previous Transformer movie toys. I think a lot of people have been talking about that, and in person they definitely do seem a little bit smaller. It really wasn't all that hard getting it out of here, which is a good thing. Oh, and Bumblebee's got these ratcheting joints in his elbow, which I don't think I've seen ratcheting joints on something this small before.
So looking at the backpack a little bit further, and again the instructions do not illustrate this, but the backpack, I call it the backpack, the hood comes completely flattened out, but what you end up having to do is there's a joint on this part that connects it here, and you end up having to kind of fiddle with it and get this to pull upward on top of the windshield. And once you do that, it does make it a bit more streamlined. Along with that, the toy comes packaged like this with the back legs, and if you notice, you pull these up, this detail appears, so you can tell that these are actually supposed to look like this. So, pretty interesting. But I think that's the biggest problem with the instructions. They start off assuming that you're in robot mode and you're going to vehicle mode, and there's a lot of stuff that doesn't get explained.
Okay, so there you've got Bumblebee. Joints are really tight, which I've heard that's kind of like a new thing that Hasbro's engineering's been working on. I mean, they're really, really tight, and not so much where you can't move them at all, but much sturdier than their toys have been in the past. Bumblebee's got this arm cannon with a missile. Looks like it shoots using your finger. You just kind of press this tab back here, and that shoots out. Sort of. Alright. And the arm cannon does not seem like it's removable. That's interesting. Maybe it's just in there tight. It's kind of hard to to tell it's not coming out though. But anyway, that's Bumblebee. And I'll eventually go through and do more individual reviews on these guys, but for now, we'll just kind of get them all out the way. So that was the deluxe Bumblebee. This is the one-step Optimus, and the other one-steps I didn't like all that much, but this Optimus, his robot mode looks very robot mode-like, and he looks very much like Optimus. So I thought this would be a good one-step to get. Something to kind of replace having a good Cyberverse Optimus, which we don't have any standard Cyberverse toys for Transformers 4 this time. I know there are going to be exclusives that have a Cyberverse, but they're just older Transformer movie toys that have been repainted. Where Bumblebee had rubber bands holding him in, he's got these, Optimus has got these, I don't know what to call them, the kind of tags you find like on like clothing tags. He's got that holding him down. So that's kind of new toy packaging for Hasbro. You're supposed to press this hood area or visor windshield area. Ah, and it's Optimus. That's actually kind of cool. The head moves, the arms move. They're not ball jointed, they just kind of move up and down. And because of the way this thing transforms, there's a little bit of elbow action, but it's not really the way it's supposed to be. The way it's meant to be. And the legs are static; they don't move. There's one piece of plastic. But yeah, that's actually kind of a cool Optimus, and his fists look like they hold like the standard weapons. So if I had something I could show you, matter of fact, let's see here, get my assistant to help me, and see if this works, and it looks like it will. So you can put the new standard weapons in his fist. That's kind of cool. It would have been cool for him to come with maybe his signature gun, but I guess for cost reasons they didn't include it. Here we got the Voyager Evasion mode Optimus. And just a quick note, the packaging is all very similar, which if you've been keeping up with these, you probably already know, but it's pretty easy to get these things out, which is nice. With the recent Universe stuff and the Transformers Prime stuff, you had these angular boxes, and it used to be kind of difficult to get toys out of them. So the boxes are pretty good. And the Voyagers and Leaders, you know, you've got the same similar style. You got the character, turn it around, and you've got another picture of the character, which is also kind of interesting because a lot of these color schemes have changed greatly since the initial photography was released for these. So they It's got the same clothing tag type stuff holding him down. So if you wanted to go through the trouble of delicately removing these from the back, you could, or you could just snip them off or rip them off or whatever. Which is good, you can at least rip them off now. That was almost impossible with the rubber band and stuff. He's got his blaster, missile for his blaster. Again, the joints are very tight, almost to the point his hands are not wanting to turn very well here. But it's okay. Missile goes in the gun. Gun is a little weird in the fact that there's this pistol, there's this gun grip in the back, and then what looks like a secondary handle grip here, but the peg is what you're going to fit in his hand, not the actual sculpted handle. Oh, and there goes a missile. But it's pretty decent. Looks like getting that in there will help get that hand twisted up. And there's your Evasion mode Optimus. Some other weirdness is that his feet appear to be painted, because there's these gray accents on the back, and they're not paint. You can tell the gray is actually the real plastic, and the blue is the paint based on how shiny it is. That's quite strange, but there must have been some sort of last minute design change by Hasbro where they decided to do that at the factory. Alright, so moving on to the leader class. We've got Optimus. Go ahead and open him up real quick. And he has the papery twisty tail stuff holding him in the package, as well as the clothing tag stuff. So we've got a little bit of both of the packaging styles. And he's got a few rubber bands holding some of his pieces down, probably to protect it during shipping. Alright, so you got Leader Optimus with his new sword and his new shield gun. And there you go. And this has been talked about a lot, but the leaders have quite a bit of chrome with them. So if you've been keeping up with these, you probably already know that the leaders have quite a bit of chrome. On Optimus, there's chrome on his chest, smokestacks, side fuel tank. I won't transform it into truck mode for this review, but also the front grille, the top front windshield all have chrome, and it does help them really stand out quite a bit. But there you have the Leader Optimus. And last but not least, we've got leader, Grimlock. His design is somewhat similar to G1 Grimlock, and at the same time quite a bit different. And he's got the same kind of twisty tie thing going on as leader Optimus had. And there was a recent video, article, blog, whatnot put out by Hasbro's design team where they talked about all this new chrome, and they'd come up with some new method where the chrome plastic that they're using is stronger than what they've used in the past. So hopefully all this chrome will hold up over time. There's quite a bit of black, chrome, kind of this brownish, goldish, copperish type color. He's got his staff, shield, which pegs into his arm. It's kind of interesting. The shield's got some subtle variation in the color on the underside, the side that you really wouldn't see that much. On the outside, it's like one straight color. It would have been nice for them to have kind of this variation going on the outside too. That pegs in there. And there you've got Grimlock. So there you have it. These are in stores today. If you have the opportunity to and are able to, definitely pick these guys up. The chrome on the leader figures do kind of give them a more special feel to them. And it is quite different looking at these things as pictures online and then actually seeing them in real life. They're pretty dynamic looking and impressive. So if you do anything, go to a toy store, go to Toys R Us or wherever. I got these from Toys R Us, and at least check them out. They're worth at least looking at, so that you know what these things look like for real life. And again, we'll be doing some more individual reviews on each of them. We'll compare them with some of the other figures of their character type. Later on, we'll have some comparisons to show with the card figures. That's our review for now. Thank you for watching again, and see you next time.